Congratulations, you're now in escrow. Whether it's your first offer or your 101st offer, it doesn't really matter. We're all here now, and in a few short days, you're going to be moving into your home. But there are a couple of things that we need to talk about today on Major Money Matters. All right, congrats on being under contract, or what we call being in escrow. And escrow is the process of moving a property out of a seller's name into a buyer's name. And we have 10 things that we've coined the 10 Commandments of Escrow, because we want this process to be as simple and as smooth as possible. So let's run through these really quickly so that we get you into your home as fast as possible. Number 1, thou shalt not open any new trade lines. What is a new trade line? A new credit card account, an account on a new car, furniture. Do not do it, okay? If you are going to do something like this, or you're thinking about doing something like this, contact your mortgage professional first so you can have a conversation with them and they can tell you whether it's the right thing to do or whether you should wait. Don't open any new trade lines or any new accounts while you're in the escrow process. Number 2, do not have gift funds deposited into your account. You may be receiving gift funds if you have a specific loan type, or your loan officer or your mortgage professional has told you that that is allowed for your purchase type. You may be doing that. However, it is much easier to have those funds wired to escrow than it is to have those funds deposited into your account, because all large deposits into your account have to be what we call sourced. So we're going to have to basically create a paper trail if they're deposited into your account. Therefore, it's much simpler to have those funds wired directly to escrow. Do not place those funds into your account unless you talk to your mortgage professional first and they say that it's okay. Number 3, thou shalt not spend funds that you have allocated for closing costs. This seems like common sense, but there are sometimes when people try to float funds, they say, hey, I'm closing in 45 days or whatever. I could spend this money out of this account, and then I could get that money back in there by the time I get another paycheck or something like that, or I get these funds in. If that money is allocated for closing costs or for a down payment, leave that money alone in that account. Do not spend money that you have allocated for closing costs or for your down payment and hope to get it back before closing, because that could create a problem for you and for your loan. Number 4, thou shalt not make any large purchases. Even if you are spending cash, the money that's being used out of that account for a vehicle purchase or a furniture purchase or something to that effect could have been used in order to make your file reasonable for the underwriter. So if you spend money out of that account or you make a large purchase, although it's in cash, it could mean you're depleting too much money out of that account that you actually need to show to the underwriter. So don't make any large purchases without talking to your mortgage professional. Number 5, do not move large sums of money between accounts. Now, like I said previously, anytime there's money deposited into an account that we're going to use for closing costs or for a down payment, those funds have to be sourced. So if you're going to move large sums of money, check with your mortgage professional first to ensure that you're not creating a problem or creating a paper trail problem for the underwriter to justify these funds. Before you do that, if you must do that, talk to your mortgage professional first. Number 6, thou shalt not change jobs or careers, even if it's for more money. So what happens is people will change jobs, and that sometimes resets the counter because you have to have 30 days of pay stubs or something like that for different loan programs. So if you change jobs, then that resets the counter for your escrow. And if that counter for your escrow then goes beyond a certain date, then the seller can actually cancel the contract if it's beyond the parameters of the contract. So don't change jobs, don't quit your job while you're in escrow. Number 7, thou shalt not change your marital status or your last name while you're in escrow. Listen, I know you're excited about getting married. It's a beautiful thing. Marriage is absolutely awesome. But don't change your name, because the name that's on the purchase contract is likely the name that we need to have on the deed. And if you start a name change process or you change your name while you're in this process, it could create problems for us at the end, and it could hold up your closing. So if you want to change your name and you just got married, or for whatever reason you want to change your name, wait until after closing to change your name. It's very simple to do. If you change your name after closing, then you can just do a quit claim deed and have your name changed on the deed to the property if that's of concern for you. Don't change your name while you're in escrow. Number 8, thou shalt not make any late payments. Just keep doing what you're doing. Make all your payments on time. About 10 days prior to closing, the lender may do what is called a soft pull, just checking on whether anything has changed in your credit report. And if you've made late payments, that could create a problem for your escrow. So please do not make any late payments while you're in the escrow process. Number 9, thou shalt not make any arrangements or agreements with the seller that is not in the purchase contract. There's a reason we have contracts. There's a reason we have things written down. Your agent, as the buyer, and the seller's agent are trained professionals, and they are there to represent your interests. It is not in your best interest to circumvent them and make agreements or arrangements with the seller. Therefore, your communication with the seller should go from you to your agent, to the seller's agent, to the seller. Don't make any special arrangements with the seller that are not in the purchase contract. That rule is there to protect you and your interest in the property. Number 10, last but certainly not least, thou shalt not ignore communication from your loan team. We are going to make requests for information, and in most cases, even if it takes you a while to get that documentation, we're going to need a response just to say, hey, I've received this request for information and I will get it together by this time. We are endeavoring to get you through this process as efficiently as possible. And sometimes we need to get to certain steps in the process to allow other steps of the process to be completed. But if you ignore communication from us, you have poor communication with us, then it delays the process of closing and puts pressure on the situation. But if you communicate openly and with us, we will communicate openly with you, and we'll have you into your home faster than you know it. That's it. That's the 10 Commandments of Escrow. If you follow those 10 steps, this is going to be a very smooth process. See you next time on Major Money Matters.